Hi Mustangs, it's Mr. Warmouth, and this is the rundown for Monday, week of Monday, April 20th. We only have 4 weeks of school left, so now's a really good time to start reminding you to please make sure you're turning everything in. Make sure that you've submitted everything. I've had a little trouble getting in touch with a few of you, so we'll have to work that out. I'm not sure what to do about that one yet, but if you're someone that is receiving the email with this video, you should be able to get to Canvas and do something. If not, you can just email me or contact Wainwright, and we'll figure out something else for you to do. There have been packets made up for you on Mondays. You can pick those up on Mondays, I believe. So every week those are available. All right, so 4 weeks remaining. Make sure you turn everything in. If you have questions, please ask. That's the really big one. My computer's been really slow. The internet's been slow. So instead of clicking on things and waiting for them to load or guessing if they'll load, I just kind of hit tab to know where I'm going next. Let's go to modules. This is modules. A couple people in other classes, and maybe this one, have had concerns about finding the assignments. The assignments are always listed for you the first thing under each week. So week 12 was when we started. That was the 3-day week, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Week 13, week 14, this is week 15. Okay, so week 15, and if you click on that very first thing, the week 15 RL assignments, you'll get this page. This page gives you the rundown for the entire week, and that's what these videos are about, making sure that you know what you have to do for this week. So we meet twice this week. We have 2 grade days, Monday and Friday. You're reading Al Capone, so that's really our focus right now. You should be through chapter 10 of Al Capone today. We should be getting a better idea of what it's like to be on Alcatraz and what it looks like, what it feels like, where the kids can and can't go. But also this, the excitement of living somewhere where there's a bunch of crazy people locked up in jail just next door is really pretty interesting. They say it's, even though it's, you're on an island with all these convicts, it's the safest place in America because there's no guns. All the guns are locked away and the people are locked away. It's the safest place ever, which maybe that's how you look at it. All right, so today you have a quick reading check. You can click here for the reading check. Remember, these are timed. So this one is 5 questions. You have 5 minutes to complete it, just like last week's. I'm not going to make you do one every time we meet as a grade A, but I think weekly going forward is probably something to bet on. I think that's a good idea. So the first 10 chapters. So make sure that sometime today that you take this reading check over the first 10 chapters of Al Capone. I mentioned this last week, I think, but kind of in an effort to make it even more normal, we need to add some other things into this. So the first is to say that we have 4 weeks left, and there were really 4 areas that we needed to kind of review because they're the big ones for 6th grade. And even though we don't have IXL or any kind of testing, which is not a bad side effect to all of this, even though we don't have those tests, these are things that you're expected to know going forward into 7th grade, which is the next time we'll see you. So pronouns and antecedents, we'll highlight these as I go. That's what we're going to look at this week. And then next week, pronoun, antecedent agreement, and then subject-verb agreement the following week, and then capitalization that last week. These are just, again, reviews. Things we've already talked about probably, but we just need to kind of hit one more time. So there's a video for you. After you've taken the reading check, you can come and watch the video. We've probably seen this before. If we haven't seen it before, it's going to sound familiar because it's going to talk about what pronouns are, words that replace nouns, and what antecedents are, the word being replaced. And that's it. They give you some good examples. Khan Academy has a nice series of parts of speech stuff that I really like. I like the people that give the presentations. They're short, they're easy to understand, and they're fun. I like them. So click on the video to watch that at some point, and make sure you're up with your reading. Now, one thing I'll point out, I'm going to switch to this so I can go back and forth, is that you do have the reading guide for Al Capone. Make sure that you follow that. So this is Monday, April 20th. Let me highlight that. And you should be, this work will be finished through chapter 10. So as the week goes on, tomorrow you're through chapter 12, Wednesday you're through chapter 13, Thursday through chapter 15, and then Friday through 17. We don't meet every day, but in order to get through this book, we have to read and follow a normal reading schedule like we would have at school. So this is pretty close to what we would have seen had we been meeting every day together face to face. Probably the exact same pace. A couple chapters a day, sometimes one, because the chapter sizes vary a little bit. All right. I guess the middle box, the blue box, the Navy Day, just reminders and a reminder to go to Tiny Cards and start reviewing your list 4B. It might be a good idea to ask you some questions about the roots on your next week reading check. So think about that. Just a few, okay? So you can click on Tiny Cards and let's see if the link works. I bet it does. Again, my internet's very slow, but these things do work. So this is list 4B, and we're looking at, let's see, Sefer, meaning holy, Secret, meaning holy. Let's see, Dine, I didn't anticipate doing this all with you, but you get the idea. You can do those, you can go through those. I don't know if we'll have any assignments necessarily connected to that, but you know how it is. It's normal, it's something we should do. Let's see. So Friday, April 24th, that's later this week. You should be through chapter 17 of Al Capone. I'm not going to make you do a reading check, but there is a click here for like a quick blog posting, a discussion. I'm just going to give you points for participating. Okay, so just put your questions you have about the story. Anything maybe if I have questions, there's something you can answer quickly. The few of you that did that last week did a really good job with it. But there weren't enough of you that did it, which brings me to another point. I need to start updating grade books with zeros because I'm missing a lot of stuff. Now the idea is to keep you active and doing things. I'm not trying to take points away from you, but the assignments, once they're past their due date, it's what it is. So a zero in a grade book does not necessarily mean you can't change it. It just means that I have to do something to motivate you to turn in your work or to participate in the discussions or whatever. So please make sure that you participate and that you get your points for that. Make sure you've turned in your Al Capone, Alcatraz response. I think that was a week and a half ago, maybe. Missing a few of those. And make sure that if you have questions, you don't know how to do something, that you ask. Okay. The last thing on here was the language review for pronouns and antecedents. You can click on iExcel and see what happens if I click on it. Hopefully it'll load up right to that part. Yep, identify pronouns and their antecedents. We've probably done this before, okay? It's going to ask you, select the pronoun whose antecedent is James P. Johnson. Well, again, the pronoun is like the he or the she, and then the antecedent is the word being replaced. So the antecedent is James P. Johnson. During the Roaring '20s, James P. Johnson was a popular jazz piano player. Known as the father of stride piano, he played on more than 400 recordings. He is the word they're looking for. Now, you got to read the green instructions because sometimes it may say something other than finding the pronoun that goes with Xavier's sister or whatever. Shouldn't be hard. Am I taking points for this? No, but it's something that you can do as you have extra time and you want to do it. If you're caught up with your reading, you've looked over your roots, go on here and spend 5-10 minutes and just kind of practice finding those pronouns, and that'll help you. Okay, so as always, if you have any questions, please ask. If you're having trouble, please let me know. I may reach out to some of you to kind of reach out to others because sometimes you can connect with people faster and easier than I can find them. So expect that. And that's it. Be safe, be careful, stay healthy, and we'll see you next week.